98 Subaru Legacy 2.2 timing belt change. Or install, since the control putting is no longer in there. First thing, disconnect battery if you have one, which I don't. And then we just figured out the easiest way is to remove the fans out of the way so you can get to the bolts down there that you need. And then you remove your belts once the fan's out of the way. And to do this belt, which I already have off, you need to remove both covers, which I just spun this one out of the way. The other one I took off completely, which is right there. And then to get this belt off, you need to loosen this bolt. This bolt and this bolt, and then pretty much twist this down until it gives you enough slack to pull the belt off. With both fans disconnected, you need to move them out of your way, which
you need to undo the wire harness.
Yeah, you need to undo the wire harness before you can remove them. So he's going under there to remove the wire harness. Okay, with the fans out of the way, you'll be able to reach this piece, this bolt, so you can remove this belt. With the bolt out of the way, you need to remove this. Oops, sorry. You need to remove this bracket, which is these two bolts and this one, and then you'll be able to remove the pulley. And then we get to deal with this bigger pulley. Last one would be this, and there should be a notch. I think it's right here. So we need to turn this so that notch is at the 0. Hey, it worked. So he already has this cover taken off. You have another cover on this side, which is broken right there. And there's bolts along the bottom and along the top of this middle one and along the bottom one. Oh, that bolt broke right there. So you gotta remove all those to get to where the timing belt goes. That is the belt tensioner right there. So you gotta push that in with a vise after you move these two bolts and take it off. So let's take that off. Yeah. See the hole right there? You want to use a vise, press it down to that little hole, and then put something in there to hold it in place until you're ready to put it all back together. And you want to take your time so you don't break this. So we're going to figure out where we can go to do that, and we'll get back to you. Okay, we forgot to record it, but what we need to do to get the new belt on is you put the tensioner piston back on, bolt it on with the pin inside of it, right there. And then you line up the white marks with the on the pulleys with the marks on the belt, and up here as well, right there underneath that bolt. Line up the white marks on this pulley with the one underneath this bolt. The white mark right here on the pulley, on the belt, and with this little groove and mark on that case. Alright. And then afterwards, you just pull this pin out, and that's it. Okay. Now we're going to put the battery on and see if it runs or if we blow up the engine.
Just a gas.
Oh. It runs. So we're gonna disconnect the battery again and then start putting it all back together. And to start off, we're gonna put the cover back on. Oops, yeah, the cover, the middle piece, and the two side pieces. All right, with the timing belt covers in place. And there's a bunch of broken pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. You get to put this pulley back on, which you have to line up this little tab with the one that's right here, towards the bottom. And then you take your giant bolt and bolt it down. After that's in place,
Where'd you throw that?
should be somewhere. You will want to remove these bolts, since he ran them all the fucking way
Yeah,
in.
Even though we probably could use one as an anchor point with the screwdriver.
So you'll want to remove that one and this one, and then line up your pulley tensioner to it, and then bolt it back down, and then
Put the belt back on.
you're ready to put the belt on, which I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay, putting on the first belt, it's actually really easy. After you bolt this bracket and tensioner pulley on, you want to loop the belt around this, along with this one and here, and then you don't mind flying around a little bit. Okay. You pretty much just tighten this until it's good and tight. Yes, and snug. And then afterwards, you want to tighten this so it doesn't move. And time to put the other one on, which... Where is it? Oh, line it up with the alternator and the power steering. And then... snug. And then you want to tighten this bolt. And this just sits between this bolt like that. Alright, this goes on first. So let's get this side bolted on. Okay. That's all dented, but it's fine. This is a cheap car. Okay, I'm gonna have to flatten this out a little bit. Relay, sockets, and adapters and shit. I trust the hammer. Good enough. Pretty sure that actually helped just enough. And it did. Voila. We get to take all these bolts back out of where the fan sits, and then install the fan and the radiator reservoir. Everything's in place, right? Good. Now, we need to add coolant to both the radiator and the reservoir, as it was slow when I bought the car, which we already have. And then
We're done.
we're done. Oh yeah, reconnect your battery.